God desires to reach the world with the glorious message of His Son, Jesus Christ. We are the Wilkerson family, and we are called of God to take the gospel to the country of Mozambique in Southeast Africa. I was saved as a 5-year-old boy when I realized I was a sinner and was on my way to hell without Jesus Christ. I placed my faith in Jesus alone for my salvation. My wife Tristan was saved as a 14-year-old girl while attending teen camp. Throughout our lives, we've desired to get the life-changing message of Jesus to as many people as we could. One young man that God allowed me to disciple had moved from Brazil to my public high school in Tennessee. As we began to study the Bible together, my heart became burdened for Portuguese-speaking people around the world. My eyes became open to entire populations that didn't know about Jesus. We began praying about where God would have us to serve Him. We were willing to go anywhere in order to get the message of the cross to people that had never heard. Tristan and I were privileged to take many missions trips to see the need for the gospel around the world. Trips to China, India, Mexico, and Africa began to stir our hearts to find our place in world evangelism. After taking a trip to West Africa, my eyes and heart were opened to the need of the gospel in the continent of Africa with 1.4 billion souls. We began praying and researching countries throughout this enormous continent. Country after country, we would research and wonder, God, where in this world would you have us to serve you? While completing my time at Bible college, I was able to do an internship in the state of Maine to learn under my grandfather about gospel ministry from a pastor's perspective. I returned to work on staff at my home church in Tennessee, where Tristan and I were able to serve the Lord together in various ministries. We saw the Lord save many of our friends who followed Him in believers' baptism. Our hearts were still burdened for Portuguese-speaking people and the continent of Africa, billions of souls in dire need of the gospel. We came across the country of Mozambique, a country of over 30 million people with 50% of the population under the age of 18, a country that was ravished by civil war and searching for truth, and their only official language was Portuguese. The Lord used this country to rekindle the burden He had put in our hearts for Portuguese-speaking people years ago. From that moment on, days and nights were spent in research and in much prayer. It was time to take action. We took a 3-month internship to Southern Africa. As we surveyed the capital city, Maputo, Mozambique, we passed millions of people as they sought for hope in everything but the Lord Jesus Christ. We found very little works. The laborers were few, but the harvest was plenteous. God, where are the laborers, we asked. We were able to meet with a Baptist missionary couple who had been serving there for the last several years. After seeing all that God is doing there, the missionary began to explain that they are retiring in the near future and had been praying for laborers to this needy country. They were passing off the baton. Will you pick it up, they asked? Will you bring the gospel to Mozambique? The words of Isaiah 6:8 flooded our minds. Here am I, send me. Verses like Romans 10:14-15 filled our hearts. How then shall they call on Him whom they've not believed? And how shall they believe in Him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? Now, church, will you run with the Wilkersons to carry the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ to the country of Mozambique?